Hi, everybody. So I did my paper on problematic intercultural interaction between my cousin and myself. We grew up together. We were both the same age, only 5 months apart, and we were best friends growing up until she went on her mission for 2 years. So she just got back. She's Mormon. She just got back from her mission in November, and I saw her for the first time in December, and it was super awkward. We had no idea what to talk about, and basically, we would be staring at our thumbs, twiddling with them, or staring at the feet, trying to look for some inspiration of something that could be less awkward to talk about, or anything really. Um, she at one point came into the garage where all of the people who were not Mormon were drinking. So it's like me, my family, and like my dad, my mom, her brother, her dad, her our other uncle and aunt, and like a few other people, but not very many. And she came out there and was floored. She was so uncomfortable. I think that it just was, she was such a minority in that situation. She was a minority group and we were the majority, that she had no idea what to do. I think that was, it really put her ideals in jeopardy, I guess. And on the other hand, I at one point went into the kitchen where she and my grandma were, and my grandma's very Mormon as well. And I came in trying to help and basically had nowhere to go because both of them were talking about her mission and all of that, and I had nothing to contribute to that conversation. So in that instance, I was the minority group, and they were the religious majority. So in my paper, I talk about um, mostly about the minority and majority in religion, which like it can be really problematic in not just religion but any minority group, I guess. When they're the minority in a major group, it's really hard to turn on the different hats, I guess. So like it's hard to be multicultural when you're coming from a monocultural place. So she was in her mission and surrounded by all things Mormon basically, and then she comes back and she has to readjust to the ability to put on different shows kind of, and like not just talk about religion, which I think was really hard for her. And for me, it was really hard to talk about religion when that's the only thing she's been talking about. We were on the same path for so long, like going to school and all of that stuff, and like I'm an athlete at San Jose State, and then she hadn't been to school in a year and a half. So I think that was a major problem between the two of us. We had nothing in common anymore to talk about, no common ground. So I think that we could have helped the situation by throwing one another a bone, basically. Like, it would have been good for us to offer up any new information. Like, I could have talked about like some funny, like asked her some funny experiences that she had on her mission, or she could have asked me about Olympic trials when I went to that. Uh, so basically, what I learned from this whole thing was that um, encounters for between minorities and majorities are really hard because there's one can feel overpowered and the other can feel like they can't make themselves small enough, or they can't really relate to the minority, I suppose. So you have to be careful about judging based on predispositions. So I thought that the only things that she'd be able to talk about were religion, and she knew my thoughts on religion because she wasn't really religious either when we were younger, and we both made fun of it. So I think that was hard for her to overcome, I guess. So you have to throw predispositions aside when being in a multicultural situation. And that's the gist of my paper. Um, just really remembering that the interaction can be changed for further, like you can learn from your interactions and then make changes in the future. And that's all. Thanks for listening.